Hey Jaans, my name is Shambhavi. I'm a professional makeup artist based in Patna. Today I did this Alia Bhatt-Inspired makeup look which she did in Coffee with Current Season 7. To see how I recreated this look, let's roll into the main content. Starting with the skincare, I'll use this Biotique toner to close her pores, also to hydrate her skin, and she's back with very popular demand. Next, I'll moisturize her skin because I'm going for very matte finish makeup look. Because Alia had a very matte skin which looked very fab and she pulled up very beautifully. And because I'm going to use a lot of powder, that's why hydrating her skin is really very important. I want to keep her skin matte, but still that glow from within should be there because it will look dehydrated. So for that I'm using a pearl luminizer from Swiss Beauty. It will give her skin very beautiful sheen from within. Also, it will not make her look that she hasn't had water for a million of days. I'll apply it onto the highest point of her face like nose tip, nose bridge, chin, cheek, and also sides of her forehead. Mush it really well into her skin. Next, I'll use Pore Minimizer Primer just sides of her nose to close any pores she has and make her skin look very smooth. I'll use quite a bit of primer because I want her skin to be blurry and smooth. Next, I'll use a demi matte primer on rest of her face, onto the forehead, cheek, chin, nose, everywhere else, onto the eyes also. Next, I'll use a medium to buildable coverage foundation and I'll dot it and then blend it into her skin. I mostly opt for thin coverage foundation, especially for her skin. She didn't need that much. Thinner the base, better the face, or less is more, something to keep in mind. And also I didn't use a lot at once. I'll see where I need and then I dot and then I blend the foundation. This is the way I work, and this is the way we should actually work for makeup, because once you put a load, then it's very hard to subtract. It's easy to add than to subtract. And whatever foundation is left onto the brush, I'll apply it onto her forehead. Next, I'll use a very lighter shade of concealer for brightening under eyes and center of her face. Keep this in mind, if you are going for smoky eyes, keep the center of your face bright enough so that your dark eyes can combat that brighter skin. Why so? Because you'll opt for smoky eyes, and if your skin is same old neutral, then your whole look will be dull and dim. Now place the concealer. Let's start blending this baby. Very light stroke, blending it all in, very easy handed, very lightly. I'll apply it a little bit onto the bridge of her nose, blending it in, and then onto the mobile lid. And then I'll mix another shade of concealer which has a yellow tone in it to cancel out any pigmentation she has. Then I'll buff both of the product into her mobile lid, skin. Next, I'll bake under her eyes and then I'll mattify her skin with powder. Now I'll buff very little amount of powder into her skin. Next, I'll use pressed powder which gives additional coverage and has capacity to hold on sweat and humidity more than a loose setting powder. But her skin will still look fresh and hydrated because I moisturized her skin really well and also use bit of illuminator for that healthy hydrated skin. Let's start eye makeup. First, I'll use this grayish brown shade, buff it onto the crease, define the crease even more. I know you guys are bored because I only use this palette back and forth in every second to third video, but trust me, it's an amazing palette to have in your kit. Next, I'll use this reddish brown shade and orangish brown shade, mix both of them together and apply it very close to the lash line and buff it up to the mobile lid. And I'll stretch the shade and make it a wing for that elongated eye effect. Doing same to the other eye. Next I'll use this orangish brown shade and buff it all across a mobile lid for that beautiful gradient of shadows, and I'll keep adding and subtracting up to the demand of the look. I'll use same orangish brown shade onto the lower lash line and buff it really well and quite lower than I usually do. Next I'll use darkish brown shade for that grungy smoked out effect and buff it very close to her lash line. And apply the same color onto the lower lashes. To increase the intensity, I use this color and buff it one more time just all over her mobile lid. And with a fluffy powder brush, I'll buff the edges. Next, I'll contour her features under the cheekbone, onto the hairline, forehead. I'll bronze and warm up her skin with this bronzer and just using on through sides and the temple. It will make her look very beautiful, tan, precise, clean and crisp. I'm going for a very monochromatic look, so I'm using a peach color blush onto the cheeks because Alia always use her blush onto the apples. And then contouring her nose very straight like Alia. I'll use a pinkish nude lip liner. I'll do a slight bit of overlining onto the cupid's bow and then I'll follow her natural lip shape. Next I'll use this orangish brown lip color and fill it in all over her lips. Just one last time of buffing powder onto her skin to control any shine and sweat. Next I'll use mascara, a lot of mascara. I'll not do anything to the brows because she has actually naturally very thick brows, so if I'll do more to her it will look way too much. That's why I just left her brows as it is, and then I set her skin with the setting mist and melt all the powders into her skin and then brush her brows up, and that's the whole completed look. I hope you all find it helpful. See you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.